Before he became Muhammad Ali, he was just a young boy from Louisville, Kentucky, a dreamer named Cassius Clay. But even as a child, he told everyone, "I am the greatest." He said it before the world believed it, before he even knew it himself. That wasn't arrogance, that was prophecy. Ali didn't wait for success to prove him right. He used belief to make it real. Ali once said, "Don't count the days, make the days count." Every sunrise wasn't just another date on the calendar. It was another round in his fight for greatness. When others saw exhaustion, he saw opportunity. That's the difference between those who wish and those who win. He knew the price of greatness. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. When he refused to go to war, he lost everything: his title, his fame, even his freedom. But he stood by his beliefs when the world stood against him. That's not just courage, that's conviction. And through it all, Ali reminded us, it isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out. It's the pebble in your shoe. The battles that destroy us are rarely the big ones. It's the doubts, the fears, the tiny voices that whisper, "You can't." Ali knew that the real fight was always within. And that's why he declared, "If my mind can conceive it, and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it." Those words built his destiny. That's the Ali formula: belief, courage, and consistency. He didn't just fight opponents. He fought limits. He fought time. He fought doubt, and he won. Because before the world crowned him champion, Muhammad Ali had already crowned himself in belief. The world saw Muhammad Ali as a showman, the poet in the ring, the man who talked loud and moved faster. But behind that charisma was something deeper, a soul built on discipline, pain, and purpose. Ali once said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." To him, greatness wasn't just about the gold belts or the roar of the crowd. It was about giving back, about using your blessings to lift others higher. But that greatness didn't come easy. "I hated every minute of training," he admitted. "But I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Every drop of sweat, every bruise, every aching muscle was an investment. While others slept, Ali was building an empire of endurance. That's what made him different, his willingness to suffer for his dream. If you are finding this story of Muhammad Ali exciting and don't want to miss more interesting stories like this, subscribe to the channel now and press the bell icon and like this video. Let's move forward. Then came the words that would define him forever: float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The hands can't hit what the eyes can't see. It wasn't just poetry, it was strategy, grace and power, rhythm and precision. That was Ali's genius. He didn't just fight with his fists, he fought with his mind. Because, as he said, the fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, behind the lines, in the gym, and out there on the road. What the world called magic was actually years of invisible work. When the lights were off, Ali was grinding. And through it all, he believed. It's lack of faith that makes people afraid of meeting challenges, and I believed in myself. That was his secret weapon, not speed, not strength, but faith. The kind that can't be taught, only lived. Because before he won any fight in the ring, Muhammad Ali had already defeated doubt inside his soul. There was something magnetic about Muhammad Ali, something that made the world stop and listen every time he spoke. It wasn't just his fists that shook the world, it was his conviction. He believed in purpose, and he lived like every breath had meaning. Ali once said, "It's not bragging if you can back it up." And he did, every single time. His confidence wasn't arrogance. It was the reflection of relentless preparation. He had already fought his battles long before the bell ever rang. He carried that same energy outside the ring too. When the world doubted him, when the media attacked him, when he lost his boxing license for standing by his beliefs, he never broke. That's why he could say with such calm power, "I'm not the greatest, I'm the double greatest. Not only do I knock him out, I pick the round." That wasn't just a boast, that was faith in action. Ali's life was a testament to perseverance. Only a man who knows what it is like to be defeated can reach down to the bottom of his soul and come up with the extra ounce of power it takes to win when the match is even. He knew defeat. He faced exile, loss, and humiliation, but he rose, every time, stronger than before. And when asked about fear, Ali smiled and said, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life." For him, Risk wasn't something to avoid, it was something to embrace. That's why he lived by another truth. I am the astronaut of boxing. Joe Louis and Dempsey were just pilots. I'm in a world of my own. Muhammad Ali wasn't competing with others. He was competing with his own limits and breaking them every single day. Because greatness, as he showed the world, begins the moment you decide to believe you were born for more. There's a moment in every fighter's life when the crowd's roar fades, the lights dim, and all that's left is the voice inside, asking, "Can you keep going?" Muhammad Ali knew that moment better than anyone. He wasn't just a boxer, he was a warrior of the mind. That's why he said, "It isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out, it's the pebble in your shoe." The biggest challenges aren't always in the ring, they're in our heads. Ali's journey was never smooth. From the glare of fame to the silence of exile, he carried the weight of being misunderstood. Yet, he turned pain into power, saying, "If my mind can conceive it, and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it." He proved that real strength doesn't come from muscle, it comes from belief. Even when his body began to fail him, his spirit never surrendered. He once reflected, "The fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, behind the lines, in the gym, and out there on the road." That was his secret: preparation, persistence, and pride. He wasn't afraid of failure because failure only sharpened him. Ali said, "A man who views the world the same at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life." Growth, to him, was the ultimate victory. And perhaps his most profound truth came in humility. Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. To Ali, greatness was not just about what you earned in the ring, but what you gave back outside of it. He fought not just for titles, but for purpose. For the belief that courage, faith, and compassion could change not only your life, but the world around you. When the world looked at Muhammad Ali, they saw a fighter, loud, confident, untouchable. But beneath that charisma was a man deeply aware of humanity's struggles. Ali didn't just fight for titles. He fought for truth, justice, and equality. He once said, "Wars of nations are fought to change maps, but wars of poverty are fought to map change." He understood that real battles weren't just in the ring. They were in our societies, against hunger, racism, and hopelessness. Ali wanted the world to fight those wars with the same courage he fought his opponents. And yet, he knew the cost of greatness. When you are right, no one remembers. When you are wrong, no one forgets. Those words came from experience. Ali's stand against the Vietnam War cost him his title, his income, and his reputation. But he never backed down, because being right in your soul mattered more than being popular in the moment. He taught us that integrity often feels like isolation, but that's where true champions are forged. Ali always found a way to turn darkness into light, to see potential in the broken. He smiled and said, "If they can make penicillin out of moldy bread, they can sure make something out of you." It wasn't just humor, it was hope. It meant that no matter how ordinary or flawed you think you are, there's greatness waiting inside. And when he declared, "I shook up the world," it wasn't arrogance, it was celebration. A boy from Louisville who dared to dream, dared to speak, dared to fight, and changed history. His joy was proof that self-belief can make the impossible real. Ali lived like every breath was a blessing. Live every day as if it were your last, because someday you're going to be right. He lived those words, in every punch, every quote, every cause he stood for. And that's the legacy he left us. Fight your battles with heart, serve with purpose, and never let fear silence your truth. Because the world doesn't remember the ones who stayed silent. It remembers those who dared to speak, to fight, and to believe. If you felt inspired by this story of Muhammad Ali, the fighter, the dreamer, the legend, then hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with someone who needs to be reminded. Greatness lives inside all of us.